The morning sun painted the mountain peaks with golden light. Far above the forests and rivers, eagles ruled the skies. Their nests rested on towering cliffs above the clouds. Among them lived a young eagle named Aero. Aero dreamed of becoming a great flyer. He watched older eagles soar across the mountains. Their wings sliced through the wind with ease. Aero wished he could do the same. But he carried a secret he never shared. Aero was afraid of heights. Every time he flew too high, fear filled his chest. His wings began to shake. His heart raced faster and faster. So he always flew low, close to the cliffs, close to safety. The other young eagles noticed. They whispered behind his back. Soon they started laughing openly. Look at Aero flying low again. He's afraid of the sky. What kind of eagle fears heights? Their laughter echoed across the mountains. Aero pretended not to hear, but their words hurt deeply. One evening he sat alone on a rocky ledge. The sun was setting behind distant peaks. Orange light filled the sky. His father landed beside him. Stormwing was one of the strongest eagles in the colony. His wings were broad and powerful. He had survived countless storms. He looked at Aero quietly. Something is troubling you. Aero lowered his head. I'm not brave like the others. Stormwing listened carefully. Why do you think that? Because I'm afraid. Stormwing smiled gently. Everyone feels fear. Aero looked surprised. Even you? Stormwing nodded. Especially me when I was young. Aero blinked in disbelief. Really? Really? Fear is normal. Stormwing sat beside his son. The wind drifted gently across the mountain. Being brave doesn't mean being fearless. Aero listened carefully. Then what does it mean? Stormwing looked toward the horizon. It means taking the next step even when you're scared. Aero thought about those words. They stayed with him long after sunset. The following morning, the colony gathered for training. Young eagles lined the cliff edge. Today's challenge was simple: fly above the highest cloud and return. One by one, the young eagles succeeded. They climbed higher and higher. Cheers echoed across the mountain. Then Aero stepped forward. Every eye turned toward him. Aero took a deep breath. He jumped from the cliff. The wind lifted his wings. He climbed steadily upward, higher than usual, higher than yesterday, higher than ever before. For a moment he felt proud. Then he glanced down. The valley stretched far below. Fear exploded inside him. His wings trembled. His breathing quickened. Panic filled his mind. Aero immediately turned back. He flew straight to the cliff. The challenge was over. Laughter spread through the group. Aero looked away. He felt embarrassed. That evening he wandered alone. He followed a narrow trail through the rocks. Soon he reached an ancient pine tree. A wise old owl sat among its branches. The owl had lived on the mountain for many years. Animals often visited him for advice. The owl noticed Aero immediately. You seem troubled, young eagle. Aero sighed deeply. I'm afraid of heights. The owl blinked slowly. And why is that a problem? Aero looked up at the old owl. Because eagles are supposed to love heights. The owl chuckled softly. Who told you that? Aero hesitated. Everyone. The owl spread his wings. Every creature fears something. Aero listened carefully. Even the strongest? The owl nodded. Even the strongest. The mountain grew quiet. The sun slowly disappeared behind the peaks. Brave creatures aren't fearless. They simply refuse to let fear decide for them. Aero thought about those words. They felt different from the laughter of the other eagles. They felt true. Days passed. Aero continued practicing. Some days were better than others. Sometimes he climbed a little higher. Sometimes fear still pushed him back. But he never stopped trying. Then autumn arrived. The air became colder. Dark clouds appeared more often. Strong winds swept across the mountains. Older animals sensed trouble. One morning, Stormwing studied the horizon. His expression became serious. A massive storm was approaching. By afternoon, the sky turned gray. Thunder rolled across the mountains. Rain began to fall. The wind howled between the cliffs. Eagles hurried back to their nests. The storm grew stronger and stronger. Lightning flashed across the sky. Thunder shook the mountain. Then a worried cry echoed through the colony. Everyone looked up. 3 young eagle chicks were trapped on a distant peak. Their nest sat on a narrow ledge. The storm had cut off their path home. Powerful winds surrounded the cliff. The frightened chicks huddled together. Danger was closing in. Panic spread through the colony. Several eagles attempted a rescue. Each one was pushed back by the storm. The winds were too powerful. The cliff was too high. The risk was too great. Stormwing watched helplessly. The trapped chicks cried for help. Suddenly, part of the ledge collapsed. Small rocks tumbled into the valley below. The chicks moved closer to the edge. The colony fell silent. Someone needed to help them, but no one could reach them. Aero stared at the distant cliff. His heart pounded. Fear returned immediately. The peak was higher than he had ever flown, much higher. Every instinct told him to stay safe, stay low, stay where he belonged. Then he remembered his father's words. Take the next step. He remembered the owl's words. Don't let fear decide for you. Aero stepped toward the edge. The colony watched in surprise. Stormwing stared at his son. Aero took a deep breath. Then he leaped into the storm. Rain struck his feathers. The wind pushed against him. Thunder exploded overhead. Every part of him wanted to turn back, but he kept flying, higher, higher, higher. The trapped chicks grew closer. Aero reached the ledge. Relief filled the chicks' eyes. One by one, he guided them into the sky. The journey back was difficult. The storm fought them every second, but Aero never gave up. At last they reached safety. Cheers echoed across the mountain. Aero had conquered his fear, and for the first time, he truly soared.